Hey everybody, Blugoblin here, the greatest goblin that ever lived, is here for a comic book review for this week of April 2016. Dug out the old school Gobby hat. Some of y'all liked it when I brought back this old hat. I've had this old piece of shit since I was in high school. And it's certainly showing its age, but it's just a part of my past that'll just never go away. Got a stack of books in here. One company didn't do so well. Meanwhile, the other companies that I read from did very well, for the most part. We're gonna start with DC, go through the indies, and end with Marvel. Okay, we're gonna start with DC. We're gonna start with Batgirl, number 50. Yeah, this is the polybag Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice cover, whatever. And I gotta say, this wasn't bad. This wasn't bad. Was this worth the big price tag it got? I don't know. I really don't know. If this issue was built up, this issue did feel like a big deal. This issue did culminate in other Batgirl stories in the past tying together to help conclude this big one. So, I guess I could understand if some people thought that this was worth the price. I believe this was a $5 comic book, and I really, it just depends on what your bag is. Everybody had an important role. Everybody felt like they added something to the story. Everybody felt important. All the way from Batgirl, you got Black Canary, Bluebird, and Batgirl's roommate Frankie, who calls herself the Operator. And you know what? I kind of like that name. I really do. I kind of like it. It fits her with her given talent. But this was the culmination of every Batgirl story that this particular creative team worked on ever since Gail Simone left the book. And it really did feel, it was impressive in a lot of parts, especially the conclusion with Batgirl and the Fuge. I believe that's how you pronounce the fucker's name. But the final confrontation between Batgirl and the Fuge, that was the best part of the book, because of what Batgirl was willing to do to stop this guy. And man, that was impressive. And we are reminded, and I'm willing to bet that there are some people who didn't know about a certain something on Batgirl that makes her who she is. And what I mean by that, I can't explain it because I don't want to ruin it. But this was good. This was good for what it was. I still say it was overpriced. You could have got away with easily worth $4, but adding an extra $1 to it just because it's number 50, I don't know. It is what it is. I thought they did a good job with this. I don't know. I don't really know why I wasn't feeling this as much as I wanted to. It was good, it just wasn't great enough to just make me go jumping up and down and praising it to no end. It wasn't great enough for me to tell you that this book was memorable. This book is not quite going to be that memorable. A few years down the line, you're going to have to dig this book out of your collection and reread it to remember what the fuck happened in it. Yeah, it is what it is. A 3.5 out of 5. Moving on to Batman Beyond, number 11. Dan Jurgens still does a great job. In fact, Dan Jurgens is the main reason why I'm still buying this title, because so many things have changed in the Batman Beyond universe here. I I don't know what it is, but I liked how they explained how the Justice League Beyond is still around. I especially dug how they explained Superman, because we're seeing Superman in here, but you could have swore that Tim just got done with a cybernetic, homicidal Superman. How can there be two Supermans? And it's like, okay, wow, nice explanation. It works. And who better to reveal that plot point than Dan Jurgens? That's all I'm going to say about that. The rest of the book was good. It was nicely done. Not much else happens in here. It's just a nice explanation as to why the Justice League is still around, and a damn good explanation about Superman that I honestly should have seen coming. I really should have seen it coming, but I didn't, and it surprised me in a good way. This was good. A 3.5. Detective Comics number 51. First of all, love the John Romita Jr. variant covers. Tomasi Pasaran. This was good. This was decent. I'm glad DC still got at least one book connected to Batman that still focuses on James Gordon. I'm grateful for that. But this, I mean, you really don't need to have Batman's name on it. You can get away with just calling it simply Detective Comics. You don't need Batman's name on it, because Detective Comics is one of those titles you can relate it to Batman. You can have it take place in Gotham City, but there are times, and this is a good example of the fact you don't always have to have Batman in an issue of Detective Comics. You can do it with Batwoman. You can do it with James Gordon. You can do it with Harvey Bullock. You can have it. I would much rather have a Detective Comics series that does focus on Batman, but not in every single issue. Maybe we'll have a storyline involving just the Gotham City Police Department, or just involving Harvey Bullock, or just involving Batwoman, or maybe just involving James Gordon, or Jim Gordon, Jims. But that's pretty much my only real big complaint about this, is that you don't need Batman's name on it. You really don't. But James, his military past is coming back to him, and this book gets really disturbing really quick, but it's good. And Jim even puts on his old bat suit, at least one more time. I'm glad he's not completely dumping the moniker now that Bruce is back and everything. But not bad. Pretty good and interesting title. It gets a 3.5. Green Lantern 51. Now, about what I said earlier about one company not doing that good, that company was DC. DC, for this particular week, they just didn't hit me hard with goodness. The big books that they truly focused on did not deliver with enough impact to make me go, wow. They really didn't. The Batgirl book, it was good, but not memorable. The Detective Comics issue, same thing. Green Lantern 51. This was a standard $4 issue, but still, it didn't really leave me with anything. I mean, you got, Hal basically calming down and reverting back to his human form, even, just moments after becoming a construct himself after dealing with Parallax. It's like you just got through fighting with Parallax and you became a construct yourself and you don't know what to do, and you just calm down and, back to normal. That's it. No build, no heavy dramatic, family sob story, sappy sob storytelling to revert Hal back. It's just, Hal just calms down and boop, there he goes. And we get a 2-page spread of Hal Jordan's history as Green Lantern, and then that's it. kind of anticlimactic. And again, we're also going a step backward in terms of plot direction. We're going back to Hal with the 2 aliens on board the Darlene ship by the end of the book. And, you know, I know Hal wants to find the rest of the Corps and everything, but it's like you're pacing it forward, and now you're taking a step backward. And on top of that, this book felt like a really, really quick read. I mean, I got through it just like that. I got done reading this book a lot faster than you can go, fuck Dolph Ziggler. But the thing is, it was a quick read, kind of underwhelming and kind of anticlimactic. Not horrible, but it just didn't wow me. I'll give it a 3. This was easily the worst book from DC this week, and it hurts me to say it because it involves a character I deeply love. Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad April Fool's Special. Oh my God, this book was crap. And by that I mean, man, this book was so boring. They were going for the forced down your throat and rammed up your ass, joke for joke, comedy. This was pure comedy, and absolutely none of it made me laugh. I felt absolutely nothing but disappointment after reading this. This was a waste of $5. This is one book I can strongly say, skip it. You don't need it. But DC did prove something to me. Harley Quinn's name does indeed sell. So fuck you, DC, for using this character to waste my goddamn time and waste my goddamn money. This gets a 2. Alright, moving on to quite possibly my pick of the week, folks. It's from Boom Studios. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, number 2. Oh my God, this was so good. And let me tell you why. And there may be some minor, there will be some minor spoilers in this. This one issue showed me a lot more sensible logic than a lot of the episodes of the actual TV show gave me. There was so much more logical sense in this. You would think, you go back and watch the old school show, the old school's first season, and you would think to yourself, even when you were a kid, didn't you ever once think, say, if Rita Repulsa really hates those teenagers, really hates the Power Rangers that much, wouldn't she just attack them in their houses when they're least expecting it? You would think that would be a logical thing to do. But it never happened. Until now. That's what happens to Tommy. And that's where the cliffhanger was in the first issue. And here in issue 2, we see Scorpina with her weapon against Tommy's throat in his own bedroom in his house, and his mother is right outside the fucking door wanting to do some laundry. Tommy's got a knife to his throat, his mom's right behind the door, Scorpina's threatening him and his mother to the point where he activates his communicator and teleports himself and Scorpina out the fucking house, thus leading to the inevitable battle. And I liked the dynamics between Billy and Trini at the beginning of the book. I liked how Tommy's in deep shit, but they don't immediately panic and send every one of the other Rangers down there. They just send whoever they can get a hold of and just say, just get down there. You know, and I like the fact that the team is not all goody-goody, buddy-buddy, friendly, and, you know, they always get along, they never argue and everything. We don't get any of that. They're at odds with each other, There's still some distrust among them, especially with Tommy. This is really good writing. This is really good storytelling. I just, I think to myself, man, us as kids, we got gypped. We should have had storytelling like this back in 1993. I shit you not. This was amazing. Logical, sensible, subtle, right to the point, good writing, good action, good character development. Just all in all, good stuff. And then you have the second story involving Bulk and Skull. They actually captured a putty patroller, and just the laughs just go on and on for that. This was an amazing book. This was really good, very well done. This, to me, will be much more memorable than the Batgirl and the Detective Comics and the Green Lantern shit was. This was good. An easy 4 out of 5. Alright, moving on to Boundless Comics. We got Halina, number 1. After reading Power Rangers, after reading Gem and the Holograms and My Little Pony, you would think it's time to get away from some of the kiddie shit and go for something a little more mature. Oh my. It's time to break out them titties. God, I'm a fucking pig. But all joking aside, so what? I read mature comic books. Not religiously, just every once in a while. Even though Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, is getting a little more cheeky, this right here was a mature book done right. And, yes, there's nudity and there's sex in it, but it's not overexposure, no pun intended. It's not overexposed, it's not forced on you, you know what's going on, but the focus is more on the storytelling, the action, and the character, and that's good. This character is a badass bitch from hell with a badass weapon. It's just amazing writing, good storytelling. And the second story in here is Halina versus Pandora. That story was also really good. This was after Ember. After the Ember Zero issue, this is probably one of the better Boundless Comics titles that I've read. And my Boundless Comics collection is a very small one. And out of all the comics I've read from Boundless, this has got to be one of the best. I don't read Lady Death, and I don't read Web Witch, and I don't really plan on it. With the Boundless titles, sometimes I just take a swing and see how far I can get it down the ballpark. Not every title's going to be a home run, but this, for me, it was a home run. Great action, good storytelling, awesome artwork. What else can you say? This was good. This gets a 4 actually. All right, we're going on to Marvel. Starting Marvel off with Black Widow number 2. Chris Samney and Mark Waid. Man, you thought that first issue was crazy. Here in issue 2 explains why the events in issue 1 happened. What led to that happening. Damn, somebody's really got it in for Natasha. And I don't know what it is that's got Natasha ready and willing to betray S.H.I.E.L.D. and become a criminal. But whatever it is, it's got to be pretty damning. I mean, this shit is really good. It's not dark and gritty. It feels, it's good to see the team that once gave us the awesomeness of Daredevil give us some awesomeness with Black Widow. Man, this was amazing. This was probably the best title that Marvel put out this week. If Power Rangers didn't come out this week, this would have definitely been pick of the week. This was amazing. This was really, really good. I am so glad I snagged this up when I had the chance. Awesome read, awesome character. Gotta know where they're going with this. I'm on pins and needles. I have to know where they're going with this. This gets a 4. Moving on to Spider-Man number 3. Bendis and Bichelli. Great creative team. Miles is in Shit Creek and he's swimming with one hand tied behind his back. You got his grandmother instantly assuming that the dude's on drugs because his grades are dropping. That's always parents or grandparents, whoever raises you, your legal guardians or whatever, that's always seems to be one of the go-to excuses for bad grades. Gotta be on drugs. Gotta be on drugs. Why don't you try talking to your fucking kid and find out what it is that's making them have these problems instead of instantly judging them, instantly jumping the gun, and instantly jumping down their throats and just making goddamn assumptions that you know you're probably not right on. And I see that in this book, and it really bothered me that Miles' grandmother wasn't willing to sit down and talk with the guy. Instead, she's yelling at him, making wild accusations that she has absolutely no goddamn proof of. It's just, I've seen storytelling like this time and time and time again, and it still bothers me that some people can just be so naively stupid. It's like, how can you be that judgmental when you clearly don't know what the fuck's going on instead of talking to the kid, you're just going to make accusations and yell at him like that's going to make the fucking kid respect you. But Miles is a respectful kid, and I commend him for that. He is a respectful kid. He wants to tell his family the truth so goddamn bad he can taste it, but he doesn't want to do it because, you know, Stan Lee has always said, the #1 rule of superhero, you never give up your secret identity. You never do that. But just wow. Miss Marvel's role in here was also really good. Being there for him, not as a fellow Avenger, but as a friend. That was good. And then you got the shit with Black Cat in there. Oh my god. Felicia, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, speaking of shit that bothers me, the Black Cat, Felicia Hardy. What the fuck are you doing to her, Marvel? Are you meaning to tell me that just because she sees a kid sees another douche in a Spider-Man costume that she's going to go after him because he's wearing the fucking suit? You're going to make her target spider people. What the fuck ever. This book was good, but it had a lot of flaws. It gets a 3. Alright, going to the Spider-Women Alpha one-shot that starts off this, Spider-Women storyline. Storyline that involves Silk, Spider-Woman, and Spider-Gwen. This was nice. This was good. Not much to complain about here. The artwork in here was kind of scratchy. Kind of scratchy looking in some spots. But I love the chemistry between all three of these characters. And Silk's starting to grow on me a little bit. Not that much. She's still my least favorite character of this storyline so far. But she's starting to grow on me. She's starting to get a little better. And this was a nice beginning. This was a nice beginning. Dimensional jumps, something's going to fuck up, and you got to know where they're going with this. Not a bad beginning, but we're just at the first step. I'm anxious to see where they go from here. And I'm going to have to get a couple of issues of Silk, which is a series I don't normally read, to find out what's going on. But not a bad beginning. I'll give it a 3.5. Oh man, moving on to Spider-Man 2099, number 9. Oh my god. Peter David, you're just killing it on here. Oh man. Miguel is so frustrated. He's so emotionally tore up that he even confronts Peter after Peter helps him save his girlfriend, Tempest. And Miguel's priority number 1, track down Tempest's mother and confront her. Why did you lie? Why did you take her from me? Why did you make me believe she was dead and all that shit? And he finds someone to give him that information. And how he got the information, I don't want to ruin it. And I sure as hell don't want to ruin what he did to the guy. Oh. And then, when the inevitable confrontation happens, the storytelling goes in a direction that I didn't see coming. And there's a big revelation about this, in this storyline, about Tempest's mother. There's a big revelation, and it just made me go, oh. And of course, the issue ends on a pretty decent Peter David style cliffhanger. All in all, good issue. Really well done. It's not Peter David's strongest stuff, but it was still enjoyable. It was great. Solid storytelling, solid character development, and a nice, damn nice swerve at the end. Really good. It gets a 4. Alright, we're ending with Uncanny X-Men number 606. Colin Bunn and Ken Lashley. Thank God we got Greg Land off the main art. We still got to put up with his cover art, but we got him off the main art. This is the next part of Apocalypse Wars, and it focuses heavily on Archangel. Present day Warren Worthington. Betsy, Psylocke, she's concerned about who is the Warren that she is trying to talk to. Is it Angel, or is it the Dark Angel? Which part is taking over? And she runs into help from Magneto. Meanwhile, you got Sabretooth and Monet working on their own little mission, and they run into an old familiar face from the past, and I don't want to ruin it because I thought that was good. It was good to see this character again, but the revelation, the big reveal of why these characters come together, I'm thinking to myself, again? Okay, let's go there again. And it's even pointed out in here, again. But it was good to see this certain character again. It's been a while. It's always nice to see a familiar face from the past. But then we get to the end of the issue with the big reveal that surprises everyone. It didn't really surprise me. It kind of confused me. I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on? It's one of those kinds of cliffhangers. It's a cliffhanger that just makes you go, what? But it is what it is. It was a good issue. Much better artwork, obviously. But nonetheless, it was good. Excuse me, a 3.5. Well, that's all I got for this week, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you want more. Don't forget Blugoblin X, Arkham Asylum Studio. Y'all know about the shout-outs to my bros in the description below. Look for me on Twitter at Blugoblin01. Look for me at Tumblr. Look for me on Pinterest or Facebook. Or you can stick with me here on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up. Share me some feedback. Put some comments down there. What did you think about these books? What did you think about my review? What do you think about my hat? What do you think about fuck Dolph Ziggler? OTRS Central, I have to tell you, you have started something and now it's just gone crazy. But all joking aside, I want to thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe for more. Thanks again, everybody. I am Groot. I'll see y'all later. I need to start rehearsing this shit.